Hi traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. This time around only one video for this week, but next week we'll be back with two videos as usual. We're going to take a look, of course, what to expect with these two currencies. So last week ended up bearish with the euro dollar. We're seeing a range though between 107.50 and 110ish, and it's going to be probably a lengthy range. I still expect price to go sideways for another week or two, maybe, or three even, before we might see some type of breakout. If we do see a break, of course, keep an eye on strong daily candle closes that could push through 107.50, below 107.50 or above 110 for a breakout out of this sideways range. At this moment, we're seeing a little bit of a bear flag in here. Let me use my drawing tool like that. It's a bit difficult because we see spikes up and down and now a slowdown. So I'm not sure which direction this could break. I think both are possible, in fact. At this moment, it looked like an ABC down with an A before, and I was leaning towards up. But really, price is keeping quite corrective and slow below in alignment to the downside. So this could easily break also to the downside now in the meantime as price is going sideways so long. This is the triangle, of course, that we're looking at, but this is also the sideways range with these horizontal levels too. So it's close to the bottom at this moment, as you can see. Could give a cause to go back to the top, maybe make a head and shoulders like that, and then seek a bounce there again for a retest of the bottom of this range. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. All right. As you can see, price bouncing again at the 61.8 fib, a quadruple or something like that, bottom at this moment. And I think that the euro dollar specifically is a bit tough to trade at this moment. But yeah, at this point, 2, 5, 6 candles not breaking through this bottom, it looks like the bulls might be able to bring it back up to at least the resistance trend line that we have here, if not maybe up into 109.50 zone. And I would say that at this point, part of this week or the next week is looking more bullish at this moment. We can see some hesitation here. If it does make one more push lower, could be another bounce and another move up to retest, for instance, these tops in here at around 108.75. First of all, let's go back to the 4-hour chart. There we go. So something like this. Then a flag, and then maybe a push up again, and then a bounce back down in that resistance zone. That's what I would expect probably is the most likely. But that said, you know, it's a choppy and sloppy chart, and in a range like this, many things can happen. We'll have to keep an eye on the price action as it develops day by day, and this could, you know, change a lot based on that. Now, we'll not have an update, unfortunately, on Wednesday, but I'll be back next week and give my 2 cents again on the euro dollar. But it's a difficult chart. I am not a big fan of the euro dollar at this moment, but if I had to choose one trade, it would probably be from this 108 area up into 109, maybe 109.75. And the second probably from 109.75, 110, back down again. All right. Pound USD, looking more interesting. It did break through the double bottom after a double top. It broke through the double bottom here, and for us the most important was this break of this trend line and the pullback in here nicely going back to resistance, and that's a trade we actually discussed in the live SWAT webinar in ECS Live, and more about that I discussed in a video that is uploaded talking about some of the SWAT trades that we discussed in the live webinar last week, so check out that video. But yeah, that was a short idea with 123.25, stop loss about 124, aiming at 121.75 and 120.50, and that's working out well. First target hit for plus 150, and second target aiming at about 275 pips is well on its way. As you can see, price bouncing at the 123.25-ish, 123.40, moving nicely to the downside here. Breaking through the 38. So the next fib would be the 50 and the Wiz 8. That is around 120.25, 120.50. It's now at 121, so it's quite close to that target. But there could be some extension left. If on the hourly chart we get some retracement on Monday like this, a flag up into 120.50, 121.75. There's still plenty of space left from 121.50, 121.75 down to that 120.50, 120. You know, anywhere between 100 and even up to 175 pips there available. But we need some kind of retracement first, preferably some kind of bear flag that can go back into this resistance area and bounce, break that flag and continue lower to the main targets there at the 50 pip. That seems likely at this moment. Everything is aligned on this time frame for a nice trend. We got a good trend channel at this moment going on the pound USD, looking a lot more interesting to trade in my view than the euro dollar at this moment. We had some great continuation here, here, and even here on the hourly chart. And you can see a nice continuation. If you're curious how that looks like with the SWAT chart, let me quickly show you on the hourly. As you can see, red candles here, here, and here, nicely indicating and simply indicating the entries for downside. Beautiful trades there on the hourly, but also on the 4-hour chart. As you can see, entry here and entry here for downside. Nicely working out in the pound. Now, once it gets into that 50 fib area, though, then that could, of course, be a potential bouncing spot. So that's where some type of retracement or bounce could take place. It is an important level, 50 fib. So let's see what type of bounce we get. But in that area, probably around 120 would be maybe an interesting reversal setup. And I would put a fib from here to here. No, not that way. From here to here. And it should retrace, I would say, at least towards 23.6 fib, if not to the 38 at 122.50. All right, then we'll have to see. What is the bigger picture? Let's take a look. Weekly chart. There we go. And looks like price could easily go down to that 120 zone, as you can see, at the very least. Everything is in a downtrend at this moment. And that could be an important support zone. Considering the momentum to the upside, it could provide a bounce maybe up to the 78. But I think it's a little bit too soon to say at this moment. I'm probably neutral at this moment. I would have to see what kind of bounce we get at 120, whether price will continue for a deeper trend or if that could be a zone that indicates a larger reversal. But for the moment, the move down to 120 and a bounce at 120 back up, that seems quite likely in my view. That's my 2 cents, and wish you all great trading. Check out the SWAT course, new one, SWAT ebook, all of that, and also get access to the profit share module of the Ultima EA automated trading system from Mislav Nikolic. So that's something that might be interesting for you if you join in May. Otherwise, wish you all great trading. Cheers, bye-bye.